In today's product overview presentation, I will show you many of the capabilities that are globally available throughout the system that have contributed to Acumatica being ranked by end users highest in usability year over year in the mid-market space. Now, Acumatica is a 100% browser-based, born-in-the-cloud modern ERP system. Users access the system using a browser of their choice and a URL that links to the Acumatica instance. A user can simply enter a username and a password to log in, or you can configure Acumatica for multi-factor authentication, OpenID Connect, or single sign-in with Active Directory, a Microsoft account, or a Google account. Today I'm going to log in as admin. Now, Acumatica is a role-based system, meaning the role or roles that a user is assigned to dictates what functionality and tasks they can see and use. User security can also include field-level security and auditing when needed. Today, I have logged in as administrator, so we have full system access. Now, Acumatica can be configured to support your specific operational and reporting needs, which may include multiple tenants, multiple companies, and multiple branches, with full intercompany, interbranch accounting. My system today includes 3 companies: Revision 2 Capital, Revision 2 Products, Revision 2 Services. And 2 of those companies have branches. Revision 2 Products has a retail and a wholesale branch, whereas the Services division has an east and a west location. Now, Acumatica provides the ability to easily restrict a user's access to specific companies, branches, even GL accounts, customers, vendors, and more. Now, when a user first logs in, they're presented with their personalized homepage. This homepage is often a dashboard of key metrics important to the user, as well as a main menu of their frequently used workspaces, also known as modules. My homepage today focuses on customer-specific data. Now, dashboards are a powerful tool native to the Acumatica platform and are completely configurable by you. Dashboards provide real-time, actionable insight into the state of specific areas in the system. A single dashboard can support an unlimited number of widgets, and these widgets can display information from any module. Widgets may be a graph, they may be a data chart. It could be perhaps a URL to an external system, a scorecard, a trending KPI, or perhaps even a link to another dashboard. Now, because each user likely consumes data differently, you can configure dashboards that are user or role specific. Now, looking at my home dashboard, we can see data from several modules. I can see open opportunities from CRM. I can see the top 10 items sold in the last 12 months. I can see my overdue AR. Now, I can view this data at a macro level, like I am now, but I can add parameters to a dashboard so you can see a micro level too. So let's say I want to specifically see data for customer Alta Ace. If I go ahead and open the parameters and then I select Alta Ace from the list of customers, the dashboard will automatically refresh to show only the Alta Ace specific information. Now, Acumatica's platform allows dashboards to be immediately accessible on a mobile device via a simple checkbox. No additional coding or programming is needed. I'm certain your employees would celebrate having real-time access to a customer's account data while they're at the customer's site. There's no longer a need to stop into the office first to run reports or have to call somebody back in the office. Using the Acumatica mobile app puts this real-time data in your employees' hands when and where they need it. Now, dashboards aren't just pretty pictures. Dashboard widgets provide drill-down capabilities, so the user can quickly see the underlying supporting data. Let's get the details for the open opportunities. I'm going to click on the widget for open opportunities, and we're going to be presented with the list of all of the open opportunities. This list is called a generic inquiry, which is very similar to a SQL view. Generic inquiries, or GIs for short, are the source for dashboard widgets, as well as the data lists throughout Acumatica. Now, many generic inquiries are included out of the box. However, you can create your own GIs to meet your unique requirements. Each generic inquiry can support an unlimited number of user-defined save filters, shown as tabs, that display a subset of the list data. If I wanted to see all of the opportunities that have been unassigned, I can click on the Unassigned tab, and this is going to revise my list to show me those opportunities that have not been assigned to a sales rep. Click back on the All Records tab. We can see that GI lists can also have conditional formatting logic applied to highlight specific data you may want to draw attention to, such as missed or late close dates, or perhaps incomplete or missing data. I previously stated that dashboards support actionable insights. One way this can be accomplished is with side panels. Along the right-hand side of the screen is what's known as our side panel area. Now, a side panel has one or more icons that provide one-click access to other areas in the system without having to leave your list. Let's see how this works. Let's highlight row for opportunity 392. When I select row 392 and I click the opportunities icon, this will display the opportunity screen for me to review the details of this specific opportunity, as well as perform various actions, such as changing the status to closed as one, for example. I can look at the details of the opportunity. Okay? Or perhaps under the More menu at the top, I can do other things, such as create a note. Maybe I need to create a service order or create an appointment. Okay? If I actually click on another row in the list, so let's pick opportunity 394. When I select this row in the list, you're going to notice that the side panel immediately updates to show me that row. So this gives the user the ability to work with multiple records in a filtered list and perform various actions and inquiries without having to close the list, open another screen, and then continuously go back to the list to get the next piece of data. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close the side panel by clicking the little chevron in the lower box at the side panel. Okay. Now, the functionality of the side panels is available whenever you work with a GI, as well as many data entry screens. Now, many side panels are included out of the box, but once again, you can add side panels or even add additional icons to an existing side panel for your specific processing needs. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to my home page by clicking the home page box in the upper left portion of my screen. This is going to take me back to my home page dashboard. Now, oftentimes I may need to access other areas of the system that are not accessible via my dashboard. In this situation, I'm going to use the main menu on the left side of the screen. The main menu is listing those workspaces that I have access to. The main menu is also configurable. So, for example, you can change the order of how the workspaces are listed. You can change the title of a workspace. You can even use less frequently used workspaces to the secondary More menu item. So I can see here that I have quite a few workspaces, but I do have a More items workspace as well. If I were to click on More items, I will see even additional areas that I have access to within the system that I may not work with on a regular basis. I can very easily move things between my main menu and underneath the secondary More menu by simply using the pin and unpin function. So if I wanted to add multi-currency to my menu, I can click on the push pin, and that's going to add multi-currency management to my menu. Perhaps I don't want to work with sales orders that often. I can simply open the workspace and unpin it, and now it will be available to me under the More menu, but has been dropped off of my main menu. Now let's take a look as I slowly open several workspaces to show you the layout. The layout of the workspaces is consistent throughout the system, and this consistency in layout supports a reduced user navigational learning curve. Let's start by opening the Payables workspace. You're going to see workspaces are broken down into categories. These categories are identified by the black bolded titles. These categories are designed to group similar types of menu items together for quicker access. The Transactions category includes those menu items used to perform routine transactional activities, such as enter an AP bill, okay, or in sales order, perhaps create a sales order. In receivables, record a customer payment. The profiles category includes menu items for maintaining master type data, such as vendors, customers, or even stock items. The processes category has menu items used to perform activities in bulk, such as release a day's worth of AP bills, shipments, or email customer invoices. The activities can be done on demand, or they can be created on an automated schedule to have Acumatica perform these functions at a predefined time. Now, in addition to the out-of-the-box inquiries and reports, you can create your own inquiries and reports using the native Acumatica tools, and then you can easily add them to the workspace category of your choosing. Now, our experience shows that a user regularly only uses a small subset of the menu items within a workspace. Based upon their access rights, some workspaces may have many menu items, potentially making it cumbersome for a user to quickly locate something. Okay. While I'm in the Payables module, if I were to click on at the bottom of the screen, Show All, I'm going to see all of the menu items that my particular role provides me access to. As you can see, there's many menu items, of which most I do not use on a regular basis. This is where quick menus can be configured by users for a specific workspace to show a much smaller list of the menu items that that user typically works with. For a user to configure a quick menu for a workspace, they will click on the Configure Quick Menu icon in the upper right portion of the screen. They will get presented with a list of all of the menu items that they have access to. They can easily simply check or uncheck a box to add or remove an item from their quick menu. So if I wanted to remove vendor prices, vendor discounts, maybe recurring transactions, and maybe I don't want to see some of this other information, I can check and uncheck boxes to add or remove things from the menu. Okay? This is user specific, and any changes that I make are only applicable for my user ID. So once I've made those necessary changes, I click Exit in the configurator, and now if I were to click on Show Less, you'll see that my quick menu has changed. Okay. Now, a user can also create their own favorites workspace. So at the top on the left in our main menu, there's a workspace called Favorites. This is a special workspace that's designed for a user to place those menu items that they want to be able to access from one particular spot. Right now, on my favorites, we can see that I have these particular workspaces with their applicable menu items in my favorites category. If I would like to add something to my favorites, I can simply go to that specific workspace and then highlight or hover over the menu item. When I do that, there will be a star that will appear to the left of the menu item. By clicking on the star, it will change the star to gold. When a particular menu item has a gold star next to it, that's a visual clue that is also located on their favorites. So now we have invoices and memos and customers under my favorites workspace for receivables. So these favorite menus can be used to allow the user to quickly work from one main area for all the things that they do in the system on a routine basis. We've also had customers do this where they'll put those more infrequently used or activities such as period end processing, quarter end, or year end activities that they can place on their favorites menu. To remove something from the favorites menu, it is as simple as you can either click the gold star from the favorites workspace, which will line out that particular favorites area. So the next time I refresh favorites, that particular menu item is removed. That menu item will not be removed, however, from the main workspace. Okay. Another thing that users frequently need to do in an ERP is find information quickly. So let's say a customer's on the phone asking about the status of their order. They don't know the sales order number, but they can tell you their PO number. Finding the sales order number quickly is very easy in Acumatica using what we call the Universal Search Tool. The Universal Search Tool is represented by this search box at the top of the screen. As its name implies, universal search looks for any string of data throughout the entire system. Your search string may be part of a menu item. It could be referenced in a transaction or a profile record. It could be referenced in a help article, or it may even be part of a name of a file attached. So let's see how this works. Customer's on the phone and they want to know when they can expect delivery of the 100 cabinets they ordered. They can't tell you the sales order number, but they can tell you that their PO number is PO-4575. I can enter PO-4575 in the universal search box at the top. Then the system is going to return in 4 categories wherever this string of text was found. It can be located under menu items, transactions and profiles, it could be in help topics, and it could potentially also be in files. I'm going to locate this on the transactions and the profiles. You will notice that I can see the string of text here is the customer order number on sales order 7173 to the Alta Ace customer. In Acumatica, wherever I see something in blue, that is a hyperlink. So let's click on the hyperlink to open the sales order itself. Once the sales order is presented, we'll be able to see all the information about this particular sales order. We'll be able to see there's the customer sales order number. I'll see who the customer's to, the date of the sales order. Currently it's in a back order state. I can see that yes, in fact, they do have 100 cabinets on order, and the expected ship date was 9/7 of 2022. Okay. You'll also note that we have a side panel for this data entry screen. As I'd mentioned, side panels are not only available in generic inquiry lists, but also for one-click access to other related pieces of information from a data entry screen. So at this point, if I wanted to see more information about the specific customer, I could click on the customer details icon in the side panel, and it will provide me additional information about this customer, such as their current balance. I might be able to check a box to say, show me all the transactions about this customer. Perhaps I want to see other activities where perhaps maybe I want to take a payment. Okay? Maybe I want to see their AR aging. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close the side panel. So hopefully you can see that these side panels give you the ability to do drill down, drill around into other related areas of the system without having to navigate to multiple windows. Now, we took one quick look at the universal search, but I can tell you that our users have told us that they're crazy about the universal search tool. You can look for a transaction number, a phone number. You could look for a name in an attached file. You could look for any piece of information, and the universal search is going to look through the entire system for any matches that you find there. Now let's move over and let's take a look at the payables workspace again. Now, because GIs are not only the source for dashboard widgets, they're also an integral component of a user's daily system usage. So let's take a look at a few more things users can do with generic inquiries. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the menu item called Bills and Adjustments. When I do this, we will be opened to a generic inquiry list. Now, virtually every menu item under the transactions and profile categories will open to a list similar to this. This allows the user to see data from a total view, rather than what you may be used to today. When you open your AP bill screen, you can only view one record at a time. Every generic inquiry can be configured to meet the specific user's needs. You can change the order of the columns via a simple drag and drop, very similar to what you can do in Excel. You can click on a column header to quickly sort the data, ascending or descending. You can also add or remove columns with the column configurator icon that's always available in the upper left-hand corner of any list in the system. By clicking on this icon, you'll get presented with a list of all of the available columns that can be added to the grid, as well as those that are already in the grid. Okay? And you can easily move information back and forth between the grids. So let's say perhaps we wanted to know who created this particular transaction. I can locate the field, and I can hit the right arrow, and then from here I can also, rather than dragging and dropping, I can also move that information where I need it to be. Then I can see that that information is immediately available to me. Some other things that you can do, we saw in the open opportunities that you can have these saved filters that provide additional tasks that are going to give you the ability to quickly zone in on different filtering of the list of information. Okay? So all of these data lists that we see in the system have the same basic functionality. Okay? But you can also apply filters. Okay? So let's see a couple of ways of how a user can apply what we're going to call an ad hoc filter. So let's just say we're looking through our list here, and we just want to see, let me see all of the bills that might be for ADT security. Okay, so what you can do is if you click in any cell in the grid, okay, and if I use Shift F, it's going to apply an ad hoc filter, and it's going to show me all of those records where the vendor column contains ATD secure. I can then also export any of this information in my grid to Excel for further analysis and reporting should I need to. If I'm done with my ad hoc filter for ADT secure, I can click Shift F again, and that toggles off that particular filter. So that was a temporary filter. But suppose we want to regularly filter and export to Excel a subset of bills that are over $50,000. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and we'll see just how easy it is to create a filter tab for recurring use, like we saw earlier in the open opportunities list. One way to do this, to create a save filter, is to start with a quick filter. So I'm going to create a quick filter on the status and the balance columns. So I'm going to go to the status, and I'm going to say that I only want to see those things that are open, and I will apply that. So I have a filtered list there. Then I'm going to go to my balanced column. And let's move the balance column over here. So now I can filter, and I can see greater than or equal to, and I'm going to put in $50,000, and I'm going to say OK, and now I have a quick filter applied up here. All right. In order to make this a permanent tab, I can click on the save icon in my toolbar here, and then I'm going to give it a name. So I'm going to say this is over 50K. I can also check this box to make this particular save filter a shared configuration, which means that it's going to be immediately available to other users who have access to this bills and adjustments list. They'll be able to immediately take advantage of this filter that I've saved. So now if I click on this particular box, I'm going to see those particular invoices or bills that are over $50,000. So we've seen many features globally available in the Acumatica platform that contribute to Acumatica being ranked highest in usability by users year over year. I'm going to wrap up by giving you a quick peek at a simple purchase order to introduce you to Acumatica's native document management and embedded email features, as well as how workflows can be incorporated to support your processing flows. We're also going to take a brief look at the Acumatica on the mobile device. Let me go ahead and go back to my home page, and let's set up our story here. So our purchasing manager created a purchase order with a total that was greater than $5,000. In my company today, any PO that is greater than $5,000 has to be approved by the controller, and in this case, myself. To incorporate this approval requirement into Acumatica, we've defined what we call a PO approval workflow, meaning that any purchase order over $5,000 will have its status changed to pending approval when the user releases the PO from hold. At this time, an email notification can be automatically emailed from the system to a designated user or group of users assigned as approvers. Users may also have a dashboard widget that can show them POs pending their approval. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at a purchasing manager dashboard. So let's say that from my favorites, let's look at somebody who might be playing a purchasing manager role. You can see here that I have a widget on my dashboard that shows me orders pending approval. Okay. When I click on that widget, it's going to show me a list of those purchase orders that are requiring my approval. At this point, what I could do is I could actually use the side panel to open that particular purchase order, review it, and then approve it. Okay. But I could also use my cell phone. So let's say I'm not in the office, so not to delay processing of the PO, I can use my cell phone that has the Acumatica mobile app loaded to approve POs while I'm out in the field. So let me take a moment to display my Acumatica in the mobile app on my cell phone for you. Okay, so here we're looking at the Acumatica mobile app on my iPhone 13. A couple of things here is that I can see KPIs at the top. I can see those things that were recently visited. I can see the various workspaces that I may have available to me. Now you can see I've got a lot coming on here. Obviously a user's mobile application is going to be a bit more refined. Okay, so once again, those dashboard widgets, like I said, can be added very easily to my mobile simply by picking the ones that I'd like to see. But really what I'm trying to get after here is I'm out in the field and I got an email notification that I need to approve a purchase order. So I'm in Acumatica and I'm going to go to the approval section here, and I will see listed on my screen purchase order 2059 from May 15th for $19,400. If I go ahead and I click on the arrow key, I'm going to get more specific information about this particular purchase order directly on my mobile app. So I can see that it's approved pending status, I can see the vendor, I can see the line total. We had a $600 discount. If I go to the details, I can actually see the details of the purchase order. I can see that it was for one AA machine item, okay, for $20,000 into the wholesale warehouse. Okay. I can also, if I want to, see any shipping information, vendor information, etc. But when I'm ready, I can click the little dots in the lower left corner, and I have the ability to put this purchase order back on hold. Maybe I'm not ready to approve it yet. I could reject it if I wanted to. Okay. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to approve it. So I'm going to click approve on my cell phone. Okay. And what's going to happen is this particular purchase order is now dropped off of my approvals list. I now no longer have any particular workflow POs that need to be approved. Now let me go ahead and go back into Acumatica. Okay. So let me get this out of the way here, and let me zone in on this particular purchase order. And let me just stop the reflector there. Okay. And now we're going to see this particular purchase order that previously had a pending status is now in an open status. And if I look at the approvals tab, I can see that this was actually date stamped by my login, who I was, and when I approved it. Okay? So now this purchase order is an open PO, and now the person can continue on with processing that particular purchase order. Now, a couple of things about a purchase order. Okay, as we're looking at a PO, once again, we have a side panel on the right hand side, so I can get vendor details, or maybe I can see a preferred vendor list for this particular item. But I also, for transactions and documents in Acumatica, can attach header level notes and files, as well as line level notes and files. So I have a visual clue here. There's a note that says make sure to verify proper country of origin paperwork is requested. Okay. Then I have a file that I've attached. So I've actually uploaded very easily a PDF file that might be a copy of some other type of document that we're working with. Okay. Let me go ahead and go back into the purchase order. I inadvertently closed it. Okay. So for any transaction in the system, you can attach header level notes and files. And then we can also perform additional activities. Now, Acumatica's workflow is going to walk the user through the typical work steps that need to occur as a document or transaction goes from stage to stage. Because this is now in an open state, Acumatica is recommending to the user that the next logical step that they would perform would be to enter a PO receipt. However, what I can do is I can use the embedded email functionality available to me throughout Acumatica. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say I want to email this particular purchase order. Now we can create a workflow that will have POs automatically be emailed as soon as the status changes to open. These can also be done on demand as needed. Okay. But the key thing here is that once the email has been processed, it will be attached to the specific transaction, and then we'll be able to have full visibility. So this operation has been complete. Now if I look at the Activities tab, I'm going to actually see that there is an activity that is an email. So I can actually drill into this particular email. The email notification templates are completely configurable by you, but we're noticing here that it's filling information in on who it's from, the to location typically at the vendor, a subject, and then it's letting them know that this is an automated email. You received a purchase order 2059. I can see some specifics here, but also if I go to files in this email, Acumatica has also attached a PDF of the actual purchase order. Now this is just a generic canned out of the box version of the Acumatica purchase order. This is completely editable and changeable by you. Okay. So with all these embedded capabilities of notes, files, activities, users can have a 100% centralized view for a single source of truth. So there's no need to look in multiple spots within or outside of the ERP system. At this point, this is going to conclude the global features demo. There's many more features and functionalities available in Acumatica, but hopefully this has given you a base introduction to the capabilities of Acumatica for its basic look and feel. Primarily takeaways, it is a role-based system that each user can be assigned one or more roles, which is going to determine which functions they have accessibility to. Each user can have their own personalized dashboard that can contain those elements of critical information that's important for them to be monitoring on a regular basis. These widgets on the dashboards can provide actionable insights, and via using things such as color coding, etc., a user can be visually drawn to specific things that they need to pay attention to. So for example, anything that's in red means that it needs to get my attention much sooner than something that's in green or perhaps even in yellow. Okay? There are many modules available in Acumatica. The basic layout of a module is very similar, utilizing categories to group related information together. The utilization of generic inquiries is an integral part of the overall utilization and user interface in the system, from which a user can look at all of the transactions in that particular area. They can then filter based upon saved settings. They can do ad hoc filters. Once again, all information can be exported to Excel should need be, and then also you have the capability of the side panels to allow you to quickly, via one-click access, get to other areas in the system to find out more about a particular area. We also have the ability to automate on automated schedules the processing of certain types of transactions. So Acumatica can take functionality and perform it on a predefined schedule for you. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to close out the demonstration, and hopefully we will be showing you additional areas of Acumatica that are specific to your particular needs. Thank you and have a wonderful day.